California is suing the Trump administration over the deployment of the National Guard to stop anti-ICE protests in L.A. The city is bracing for a possible fourth day of protests after ramped-up federal immigration raids.
Aerial video taken just half an hour ago shows a crowd gathered in front of a police blockade. Officers have now arrested at least 53 people from isolated incidents of violence and looting. Danya Bacchus is live.
Yes, and the group of protesters that you all mentioned, you can see them behind me. This has grown within the last hour or so. It started off as a small group. It's now what I could consider still a relatively small, maybe even medium-sized group of protesters. And scenes like the one behind me are popping up in a handful of locations in Los Angeles. Small groups of protesters took to the streets again in Los Angeles as tensions run high following a weekend of protest over immigration raids across the city. While demonstrations were largely peaceful, there were also isolated clashes with police. Some protesters threw rocks at law enforcement and set cars on fire. Demonstrators also shut down the busy 101 freeway through downtown L.A. On Saturday, President Trump ordered the deployment of 2,000 National Guard troops and put Marines at Camp Pendleton on standby against the wishes of local and state leaders.
I'm here today because on Friday, ICE kidnapped my brother, Jose Paulino, along with his co-workers.
Families of detainees gathered outside one of the sites ICE agents raided, begging for the release of their loved ones.
My siblings, ranging from the ages of 4 months and 20 years, need and want our father back.
I was hoping to prevent this situation from happening. It's the last thing our city needs.
This is the first time since 1965 a president has activated a state's National Guard without a request from the governor. Governor Gavin Newsom has accused President Trump of trying to manufacture a crisis to create chaos. Today, the state of California filed suit against the Trump administration.
Since Trump announced his plan to deploy troops, the situation on the ground has escalated quickly.
The president is standing by his decision to deploy troops.
People that are causing the problem are professional agitators, they're insurrectionists, they're bad people, they should be in jail.
CBS News has learned ICE operations are expected in Los Angeles County for at least the next 30 days. Yeah, and the protesters here have been pretty peaceful since we have been here. The only loud noise that we've heard them say is shame, shame, as we saw law enforcement officers trying to get through that group of protesters. And we do know the National Guard and Los Angeles law enforcement are deployed across the city. Reporting live from Los Angeles, I'm Danya Bacchus. Dick and Jessica, back to you.
All right, Danya, we know this is an ever-evolving situation. Thanks for keeping us updated. Stay safe out there.
Thank you, Danya. New Yorkers are also pushing back on the president's immigration policies. Investigative reporter Tim McNicholas takes us to one protest that happened downtown this afternoon.
None of this, brothers and sisters, is making our cities safer.
These ICE raids are not making us any more safe. They're doing the opposite.
From politicians to union leaders, protesters gathered in Lower Manhattan Monday to call for an end to ICE raids across the country and the release of David Huerta, a union leader arrested and accused of interfering with officers during protests in Los Angeles.
Are we ready to fight for the immigrants who've always powered this country? Are we ready to protect our union family? We are a city of immigrants. We are a country of immigrants.
Huerta is a leader with the Service Employees International Union, which organized the Monday rally near City Hall.
What do we want? Free David! We will not be silenced!
A CBS News poll conducted last week showed 54% of Americans approve of President Trump's program to deport people illegally in the U.S. But the protesters who gathered Monday don't see it that way.
And immigrant rights and human rights and labor rights, we're all bound up together. And if we don't stand up and fight back now for our most vulnerable, then no one else will.
And there is another rally planned for Tuesday evening in Foley Square, also calling for ICE to stay out of New York and for a stop to mass deportations. At New York City Hall, Tim McNicholas, CBS News, New York.
And coming up at 5:30 from Foley Square to the White House, backlash is building after President Trump's travel ban taking effect. The new rules and why some say they'll split families apart.